Hello, dears. I am talking to all those intellectual, brilliant, and mindful people, those who never misjudge anything by being guided by any hooligans or any goon or any political activists, though don't have the mind, mindless activists. I am very shocked to see the people of West Bengal, those who had been always honored as their most intellectual and logical conclusion on any of the political affairs or any social affairs or religious affairs, these people are also being motivated to give their comments uselessly, irrationally, and like a mindless person. So, I am barring all these, means excluding all these. I am talking to all those people, those who are having good mind, those who are thinking about as to how our country's this portion that is called West Bengal can be kept as a safe and secure place, and it can be saved from the attack of all these hooligans and goons, those who have nothing to do with reason, they have nothing to do with humanity, they have nothing to do with any religious affairs. They generally create such a situation that they cannot explain why they are creating such a situation. Very recently, in Beldanga, where a certain number of Muslim populations were put to death and put into a very embarrassing as well as a very tragic situation by treating them as animals, not giving any human values. Then who are the people who are getting guided by those political gainers? These political gainers are, remember my dear, gainers are S. Adhikari, S. Majumdar, D. Ghosh, R. Sinha, and S. Bhattacharya. You see over here, mostly they are Brahmins. And these Brahmins, in order to occupy the power of ruling the country by any means, they are trying to misuse the misunderstanding or their misconception about the Muslims. If you read the history of Islam, you will see that Islam was not expanded by iron and blood. Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he tried his best to convince the people. They tried to tolerate, endure all sort of atrocities done by your enemies, by the so-called enemies. They are not enemies, they are human beings, but they have turned enemies because their heart has been sealed by the Creator Himself, because they are destined to die with a lot of sin. They are the sinner, and because of that, he ultimately had to adopt a policy of retaliating against all those fools by fighting a battle. And the battle was done just for self-defense. And it is a human right to do the self-defense in all situations. I see that India's Muslim population, those who had been here for hundreds of years, thousands of years, and decades after decades, they grew up and they reared their family, and ultimately they run their family with their own hard labor. And in spite of that, also Muslims are treated as enemies of the Hindus. If the Hindus are, suppose, beheading or severing all the Muslims at a time, who the hell will carry on the cultivation of the land? Who the hell will carry on the cultivation of potato? Who the hell will cultivate the crop, that wheat? Who the hell will cultivate all sort of vegetables? Who the hell will bring fish for the market and sell them to the people? I know from my own experience, because I have been watching this type of continuous turmoil of this political misuse of the people wrong sentiment since 1971. A large number of people, those who are ill-treated, I am not sure that all are ill-treated, but if some people are ill-treated by the Muslims of Bangladesh, those Bangladeshi Muslims, those fools, they are neither our brethren, they are neither our citizens, they are neither our own our neighbors. They are only the people of neighboring countries. The community, Hindu community people, those who are ill-treated and mistreated by some of those hooligans in Bangladesh in 1971, and under the guidance of Pakistani Rajakar and Pakistani soldiers, those who very recklessly raped many of the girls belonging to Muslim community and Hindu community. Naturally, those fools, Rajakars, are responsible for such type of atrocities. Then why those sinners will be spared? Those sinners had to be challenged there only in 1971. Because if some people ran away to India, they started living here in India, they did not get any very suitable place to live in. They are given very small area to live in the houses of that pigeon coop. A small room, 8 by 6, 6 by 8 or 8 by 10. Such pigeon holes, pigeon coops were given to the people, those who ran away from Bangladesh. Why did they run away? They had to fight against all those Muslims, and they had to put them into the mouth of death by taking the challenge of beheading or exterminating all those fools, those who mistreated them. Seeing your own daughter being raped by any fool, whosoever, Rajakar, Pakistani soldier, or Bangladeshi soldiers, whosoever, those who are working in Pakistan soldiers, you had to raise together hands, and you had to organize your own association with Muslims, because both were victims at the hand of the Rajakars and Bangladeshi soldiers. And our Indian soldiers, they protected ultimately. They entered into Bangladesh and rescued many of the Indian women, those who were badly treated, they were pregnant, and they were bearing babies of 8 months, 6 months. Those fools had to be detected and had to be beheaded publicly. Those Muslims, Rajakars or Pakistani Rajakars, why did they run away like cowards? And by coming out, by running away from Bangladesh, what sort of bravery they are showing by killing a Muslim counterpart, those who are living in our country. They are not responsible for all those criminal offences. In Islam, it is very clearly mentioned that you have to save your neighbor. You have to protect your neighbor from all sort of ill treatment and all sort of misbehavior done by any sort of the foreign agents, means hooligans agents or criminal agents. Then it is the moral responsibility of the Muslim to save the identity and the modesty of women. And when they are molested publicly, when they are publicly raped and killed, how the coward ran away? Why did not they kill themselves? And before them, why didn't they kill those some fools to save the honor and modesty of their own daughters? As they did not do anything, they could not do anything, those fools, now they are retaliating by coming to India. India is not your fatherland. You stayed there in Bangladesh in 1947. You did not want to come because you have your landed property, your trade and business. You had your good setup in Bangladesh and you had your own setup in the Bangladesh territory. Then why did you run away? By running away, was there any solution of the problem? Then if no problem was solved, then why did you run away? Can you explain before me? I am not asking all those hooligans and criminals, those who killed some of the Muslim population in there in Veldanga. If by chance suppose those people, those who are killed in Veldanga, if they had lost their patience and they started retaliating against all those criminals, they could not have run away from the place. They are not in the use of coming to India. And I am 100% sure this type of criminal violences are carried on by the Bangladeshi people, those who call them as Hindus, but they are neither human beings nor Hindus. Because Hindus never believe in taking the life of any person who is very weak and infirm. Killing a human being is a sin, unpardonable sin. And after creating such sin, which type of heaven would you go? And I am very surprised to see the people who are so-called intellectual or so-called educated. Those fools are also not taking any interest in saving the society. You see my face. Even 5 days earlier, my face was very shining. But by getting all these tragic experiences, by going through the tragic experience, hearing about their death, unwanted death of some people, those who are supposed to live a few years more, and after that they would die naturally. They are not given to live. They are not given to any chance to live. Then who did this nonsense? It is done by all these Bangladeshi refugees, those who ran away from Bangladesh and started thinking India as their father's land. Those fools, they don't know their father did not keep any land here. Their lands are given to them on khairat, only on alms, bhiksha, because they did not have any land, they left all these things. That's why they are given some area of land by the government to make them settle here, so that they should live safely. In our country, the government that is running the administration, many of them they are mindless. They don't have any mind as to how to protect the people, how to save them from the effect of this type of criminal atrocities or communal atrocities. If you kill such people, if you sever such people in a large number, will you be able to send them back to the heaven altogether? Never. You cannot do this. You don't have the strength and mind, because the Muslims are more organized and they are not organized by any sort of false idea. They believed in ism, that is ism of peace. And your religion, it is ism of intolerance. Your polytheistic religion is having no particular religious God also, one who could guide you. Those gods only carrying all sort of sankha, gada, chakra. What they will do? God is not supposed to take any sankha, chakra, gada. Because God is not supposed to kill any people, whosoever. He created the people. Then how did He dare to hold those weapons? A certain woman, one who was honored as Dasabhuja, only 2 hands are not properly managed. Then 10 hands, how they would manage together? Can you imagine? Have you ever thought? Have you ever used your mind how to think rationally for your own religious loopholes? Have you ever thought? You never thought about your religious loopholes. You don't have any mind to think about all this. You have to change. Islam is the only religion that is the most modern religion after the creation of all sort of religions since the time of our civilization. And after Islam, no religious practices are not expanded in such a huge number except Sikhism. And that Sikhism also has not grown so fast, so ardent. And these Sikhism are also having the faith in monotheistic religious practices. They believe in single God. And in due course, after 100 of years, after these people, they will forget their all sort of hostility towards the Muslims because they are ill-treated. They will also absorb and adopt Islam, and they will surely side with the Muslims. Then how will you erase such a huge number of Muslims from this very pious land, very pure land of our country? How they would save the land of the God and goddesses? Although I don't believe in 33 crore. Why 33 crore population will have their religious importance? Only one single God is enough, who has the authority to create the world and save the world and make people follow a certain religious dogmas and practices. All reasonable people, realistic people, and all moralistic people, those who have good mind to judge, those who are having good judgment, sense of judging things, they should think about all these. Don't get guided by temporary whimsical activities. This will not save you. And remember that if you cut anyone, if you harm anyone, the person on who is harmed, on who is mutilated, on who is exterminated, he and his all successor will just erase you from the very soil of this our country. It is quite certain. In Arabian country, there were hundreds of thousands of Quraysh, those who did not tolerate our Prophet Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he was badly treated and he was badly ill-treated. He was not believed. Rather, he was targeted as blasphemous. He said that he was talking against their so-called Sanatani traditional belief. The traditional Sanatani belief is not a belief at all. It is a belief of that illogical, irrational, that having no logic, no science, unscientific practices. This has to be stopped. Once our Gautam Buddha tried his best, but those criminals, so-called Brahmins, those who keep on moving their tantaniya, tan, their ghanti to say the prayers and say that type of puja. They also believe that these are all useless practices. Still, those Brahmins, they are carrying all these things for their own survival because they are the parasital people to live on people's supply. They are parasital people. They live on people's supply of different type of the ration that they need for their survival. We have to rusticate them from society. They have to put them on their own feet so that they should understand how the resources has to be earned, how they should be used properly, and how they should be properly earned. These Brahmins are worthless section of our society and they are running the administration. If anyone behead me, I don't care. Because after few years I'll die. Because whatever the words I am hearing, that will never die. It will be there anywhere, in YouTube or any other channels, any social media, and at least a few people will surely forget, surely remember it, they will never forget it. Then if you are really conscious people, if you are having the scientific approach about life, if you are really believe that religious practices are really very important for the proper improvement of the morality as well as humanity of your heart, then discard them. Discard the Brahmin at first. They are hardly a few person, a small section of the society. If they discarded, if they are compelled to earn their living by their hard work, because they are not teaching even. They are not engaged in teaching people. They never inspire people to read the Gita or read the different religious scriptures. As I have read the religious scriptures, I read it Aitarya Brahman. It is a scripture in which all sort of vague and vulgarity of Sri Krishna was clearly, very nicely explained with a most explanation and what should I say, highlighting of their glory. They glorified this type of things, of all these illogical things that Sri Krishna did. Neither he was a prophet, nor he was any god. He was only a powerful king who made people terrified in his name and power, and ultimately all the people sided with him. He was born in a Brahmin family, but ultimately he was brought up by a Jadava family. Then if that certain person, one who was very clever, one who was very illogical, irrational, that person has to be recognized. You recognize. I don't have any requirement to recognize. I have recognized my own practice. I do not say regular namaz like a fundamentalist, because I believe in one thing, that is my only one and monotheistic religion, that the most powerful, omniscient and all-powerful Allah the Almighty. That's why if I believe it, you cannot take it out from my heart. If you cut me into pieces, still my every piece will utter the same word, Allah the Almighty, Allah the Almighty. And if you have any mind to think of, read books. And without reading books, you cannot make yourself a recognized intellectual. If you want to do something good, if you want to do something better for your society, work together. Cutting the Muslims or Hindus, no solution will be ever. And to the political situation is concerned, in West Bengal, maximum population are always supporting Mamata Banerjee, although a lot of misunderstanding and a lot of misinterpretations are being carried on against her, but she was a woman of the soil. She got her heavy beating on her head, which had 8 different stitches on her head. then that lady might have made some mistakes. Any human being can make mistake, but she will be supported unconditionally by all the 17% Muslims here in West Bengal, and those fools that are barking like animals, those barking fools will never get votes, and their dream of becoming the ruler of West Bengal will remain as a dream. They will never get the success of becoming the ruler here in your country, and when they try to come to the power in the long run, before that, the people will be so much closely organized, then these fools will be driven away. As Hasina had to run away, as Gaddafi had to run away from his country, as the this different countries, dictators, as Hitler had to commit suicide, like this only many such criminals, those who wanted to have power, absolute power, they will be just engraved. They will be put into the soil and they will be rotten on this very soil. And their dream also will be rotten with them. That's why be careful and make people aware then how they should live and why they should live together. Both the Hindus and Muslims should live together and make their own effort to just create a peaceful state where there will be no communal violence, where there will be no such any sort of fighting anymore, and people will have their certain peace of mind to live together and stay together. Thank you all, my dear. With my troubled mind, with my troubled soul, and with my weakened heart, because of that extreme sorrow, I tried to convince you. I don't have any biased attitude towards any religion. But I am sure the criminal offenses that are being promulgated and enhanced in West Bengal, these are done by Bangladeshi Hindus, those refugees, those who started living in our country, thinking that it is their father's land. No, never. Bangladesh may be their father's land. Their father produced them. The mother was there. Then the father and mother's land was there. But here they left their father and mother by burning them in the burning heart. Their burning hearts are being urinated by dogs and other different small animals, inferior animals. Then by taking their life in their hand, whosoever ran to our country, they are neither the sons, the people of the soil, nor they are the human beings. They should be properly channelized, they should be properly guided, they should be given properly only, what should I say, counseling. Do the counseling. And all people are supposed to live together. And the Hindus are supposed to live together. How long will we live? Hardly 70, 80, 90 years. After that we have to die. Don't forget this. And if you want to die peacefully, then live together. That is your only objective that you can do. Thank you. Have a nice time. And when if for you only the ban has been introduced on internet, then as soon as the internet ban will be lifted, I will air you this video to you. Please read it. Please go through the video and think. Use your mind and be the gentleman, to be the gentleman's sons and daughters. Don't get biased. Because biased people are always biased. Biased people are always fools. Biased people are always animals. Biased people are always rude. Biased people are always beasts. And I don't want to talk to those beasts. I want to talk the unbiased, gentle, educated, and all those rational people, those who are having a good mind. Thank you. It is your responsibility to think. It is not mine alone. Hundreds of people should think like this and air it to hundreds of people without instigating people, because provoking people in the name of religion, it is only creating nuisance in the country, and you will not get any benefit from this. That's why save your country and save your future. Have a nice time. And if you like my idea, then give your like and share and subscribe it. If you try to give any sort of slangs, I don't mind, because I don't take any slangs. If anyone gives anyone slangs, any bad thing to you, if you do not take the thing, where it will go? To you only. Similarly, if you write any slangs, I will simply, what will you do? Delete. And those slangs I will not read even. That's why talk gently, talk impartially, and talk like human being, not like animal. I want your humanitarian and personal development like a true human being. Thank you all. Have a nice time.